All right, welcome. We are here. First live broadcast. I know that some of you are recognizing me as David from State of the Federation, but consider this as my own thing. I am trying to have my own individual things. I love doing State of the Federation, but I also love doing the more casual aspects of this game. There are a lot of things that we do well on State of the Federation, but there are a lot of things that I think that we can do better. I want to emphasize a lot of different things, a lot of casual play, a lot of combos that we don't always see. Some of the silly stuff, some of the older stuff that you may have put in the back of your box that we kind of go, what's that good for? So I started the shipyard with a mission of going, with the Borg ruling coming out, they're not as good with the lack of the 360 firing arc going to range 3, spinning after they move. That has shaken everything up. Different things are good. As we're seeing at Worlds, we've got scimitars, we've got bioships. Yes, you're welcome. We've got Voyagers, we've got interface generators all over the place, we've got fighters, we've got cloaked mines, no surprise. But at the end of the day, those things are great, but there's counterplays to those. And we're now in a place where things that are good are not absolutely good. There are answers to what exists. And that's a great place to be. So the shipyard is all about finding some different things, finding some things that you may not have thought about, that you may have dismissed, that you may be going, hey, I never thought this was good. And you know what? I'm going to miss tons of those comments. Tons of those combos. But that's where you guys come in. That's where you guys have the freedom to talk about stuff in the comment sections and go, hey, what about this? And I never thought about that. And if I inspire something that makes you go, never thought about that, then great. We start creating this environment where one notion leads to another, and we get this back and forth, and we're in a position where we've got a healthier game. I don't think we're there. I think right now fighters are a problem. I think that cloaked mines running around rampant are a problem. My venue made cloaked mines unique a long time ago, so I haven't seen that. We are highly considering making fighters unique, just so that we don't see double fighter builds. I doubt that we'd ever see triple fighter builds because nobody wants to go there. But at some point you have to sit and go, when are you playing Star Trek and when are you just playing a combo game to win? And I'm not talking about at Worlds. Worlds, Nationals, Regionals, those are different ball games. But at a local level, you want to be in a position where you are having fun. And so that's the shipyard. Because for me, I play to win. But I play to explore. And I play new, weird combos. I piloted an ISS Defiant with Bashir and Rebellion and made a Borg sphere before the nerf shoot at me with 2 dice and shot back at it with 5. And it was fun, and I almost killed it. And, those kinds of things are just weird. And you'll see some more of that when I get to an ISIS Defiant review. But creativity in this game goes such a long way. And you're going to see creativity come out of worlds, even in this current environment. I mean, yes, scimitars are going to do a very good job. But at the end of things, the most creative minds are the ones that are going to win the day, because they're the ones that know what's going on. So, sorry, I am looking at a setting here. Okay. I'm trying to do something. It just... Okay. Sorry guys, testing settings, trying to make YouTube stream happier. But I know that there's something there. Okay, well, I can still see that there's a stream happening. So we'll go with what we've got for now. And the fact of the matter is that if I can see it, then that's at least something that works. For you guys, I don't know. I know I just picked a bad day. Okay. So another idea, another topic that's come up in the community recent is ships that we would like to see in the game. So I'll run through my ideas. I would love to see Columbia. I think that another NX class would be cool. I would love to see like the Saratoga because, well, another Miranda would be good. Younger Ben Sisko, Not necessarily for the Ben Sisko. Give me any Miranda. I don't care. Retail Vorcha, of course. Retail Galaxy, because, well, yeah, something with another 360 firing arc. Yamato, Odyssey, whatever you want. I'm not picky on names. They're Vorcha, I guess, give me the Bortos because it was so well known from the TNG two-parter. Xindi ships, of course. I think we're getting those in the Temporal Cold War pack. Stay tuned to State of the Federation for that, because Tucker is probably getting us some insight on that. I'd like to see another Dominion battle cruiser, battleship type thing, only because some more captain options would be useful in the Dominion, and another talent can't hurt anything, and some more usable crew. I would love to see a Romulan ship with Sayla. Of course, she may be on the whatever the Romulan warp is that's coming out, the Valdor class. We can hope, at least. Let's see. Mirror Universe. I would like to see. I'd like to see the USS Defiant, the Constitution class, come in as something that gives us Mirror Archer and T'Pol and that group. I think that would be very entertaining and give Mirror another good smattering of crew and captains. Let's see, what else? I mean, of course I'd love to see USS Titan, but I'm worried about the license. I don't know that the license would go there. Although, since the ship was mentioned, at least in Nemesis, it might. I don't know. I'd like to see an Ezri Dax card as a crew. I think that's a missed opportunity. I'd love to see a Catherine Pulaski card, maybe on the Hathaway, when that comes out to retail. Of course, a Federation Captain Worf. I think that's been missing since the Defiant. Why we needed Captain Kira, I don't know. She does no good. Yeah. It's this thing that you can give me all you want. I will probably buy most of it. I have, except the Big Board Cube and Tholia 1 retail, just because I kind of refused. But I have a hard time, picking things. Like, I'll buy it. I just don't need, specific ships. Enterprise A, B, C, sure. Cool. I mean, the Rachel Garrett card, yeah, okay. The Enterprise B crew from Generations, okay. Fine. I mean, make interesting cards. Make me interesting cards with interesting abilities. I care more about that than necessarily having my thing, my name that says, "Hey, you do this." Yeah. So that's my notion of where they need to go with ships. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys have never seen it, Fantasy Flight makes these plastic stands that people can use to put their target locks on. And I had a guy in my venue, Sean, did this. And I took it over. And that made a huge difference for me. I loved using those for my target locks, and it lets them stand up and makes it really easy to identify what's what. Now, if everybody starts using those, we've actually kind of created the same problem. But if only a couple of people are using them, really takes away the issue. It definitely makes the target locks easier to move. It doesn't solve any problems with scan or battle station tokens because the stands are just too big. But it is kind of a nice notion. So look into those. Those are up on the community page and the strategic community page. Which are, if you're not on the Star Trek strategic community, do a search for that. I'm an admin there. I'll let you in. Don't cause trouble. Thank you. Okay. Well, I can tell you guys right now that the next review that I'm going to do is going to be the Scimitar, since we're seeing that thing pop up all over Worlds. Hopefully that goes up in the next 12 hours. I will do my best to work on that tonight and get that posted at the normal time tomorrow morning. No guarantees. If it's not up tonight, it'll be up, or if it's not up tomorrow morning, it'll be up Saturday morning. But it will be there. That's the next one on queue. After that, I don't know. I'm up to suggestions. I'm up to ideas. The thing I've been doing right now is I've had to photograph all the cards that I own. So that's been a process because I have everything sleeved, which means that I have to unsleeve everything, take the pictures, make sure that the pictures aren't super blurry. Some are a tiny bit blurry because I didn't catch them until afterwards. Resleeve the cards, import them to my computer, crop them, edit them accordingly. They're not perfect, but they're good enough. Do all of that, sort them into the appropriate chip. Then they go, then they sit in a folder. Then I go in and I record the audio for a review. I edit that audio, and trust me, you don't want to hear the unedited version, because you're getting the unedited version right now. You are getting my ramblings, my rantings, and you're getting the pauses, the ums, the coughs, the vocal inflections that we all have that you don't ever really notice yourself doing until you start recording yourself. And I'm getting better with practice, which is great because it's made my editing less complicated. But when I'm trying to think of the things I want to say about cards, it is harder and it leads to a lot of pauses. I don't script myself. I try to think of what I'm going to say about cards before I go recording, because of course I'm not just coming off the cuff with everything. But the reality is that I have played a lot and that I don't want to do super scripted because I think that loses something. If there's a card or something that I'm having a lot of trouble thinking of what to say, of course I'm going to take time to figure it out. And I'll probably be hashing stuff out with the community, going, okay, what is this card good for? How do we make it work? But right now, it's essentially been, hey, we're good. We're good here. I've got most of the ideas, especially on the starter cards, Deep Space Nine, Portic Sphere. Those are things that I've played with a lot. Yeah. So I've been picking the ships that I know well to start off because I wanted to start strong. I wanted to start with a good foundation, as I think any reviewer should. Start with the things that you know, work to the things that you don't know. Pretty soon, I'm going to get away from the things that I know, go into some of the more obscure things, then start coming back to the things that I know, mixing in newer stuff as it comes out. Very quickly, I want to jump into the new ships that just came out, the Ratosha, the Prometheus, and the Ming Tao, just because they're new. And at the end of the day, new stuff is what drives the channel. New stuff gets the views. And yeah, the thing there has been that my local gaming store went through a change in ownership at the start of May, meaning they needed to get new accounts and all of this set up. And so they haven't gotten new ships. But I'm working on getting stuff. I've talked to them. They're going to get stuff in for me. So hopefully within a week. Cross my fingers. So hopefully next week or so I can get on those. I may just suck it up and use StarTrek.com pictures to do my pictures and do my own audio. The problem would be if there's any cards there that they haven't spoiled. And of course I don't have the flip side of Admirals. But we shall see. So yeah, I do not know how much longer I'm going to keep this going. Okay. So, since this isn't just Star Trek tackling, even though it's mostly Star Trek tackling, favorite series that I love seeing ships from, definitely Deep Space Nine and Voyager. I do like what they do with Voyager ships. Because they got the Borg sphere pretty close to right. They got the Borg tactical key pretty close to right. They got Voyager. Very well done. They got the Hirogen. Very well done. Vidians, I don't care. Kazon, I actually like most of what they did with the Kazon. Yeah, somehow Voyager, actually. Although, ask me after the Temporal Cold War, and it might be Enterprise, because surprisingly, they did a really good job with the Avenger and with the NX Enterprise. But they bombed the Samra, so that takes it out. And we got the Praetus with Cloak Lines. But the Xindi could redeem all of that. Still, TNG just doesn't have enough ships. TOS also doesn't have enough ships. TNG movies did pretty good ships, but it's Deep Space Nine. Yeah. It's Deep Space Nine. Because of not the Defiant, but the ISS Defiant, all of the Dominion, almost all of the Cardassians. You also get the Bajorans, which are not amazing in Star Trek tackling, but they are an interesting twist. You get some very intriguing support. You get the Regent's flagship. You get the most beefy of the mirror stuff. Favorite Deep Space Nine character? Vic Fontaine. Of the main, Smiles O'Brien. That was my guy. I love the interplay with Bashir, and just that he was a family guy. That was just fun. He always made me laugh, and he took his job seriously, but he never took his job too seriously. So he hit his priorities straight, and they showed that at the end of things when he was willing to leave the station to go back to Earth, and that seemed like more for Keiko and the family than it was for his own career. So let's see. Favorite Star Trek movie? It used to be First Contact. I still love that opening battle. Wrath of Khan feels like a better movie to me, though. So, Wrath of Khan is a movie. First Contact is an opening 20 minutes. First Contact has the better battle. Wrath of Khan is the better movie. What do I really think of Tucker and Will? I don't want to put that on video. They're good guys. They are slightly misunderstood by the community. They have alpha personalities who they're guys that want to win. They aren't the best people, but their hearts are in the right place. All of our hearts are in the right place. I think that we're all trying. I think that we've all gotten better. It's just that, yeah. Sometimes intentions, the road to good intentions is paved with a lot of bumps and bruises. We've made a lot of mistakes. And, yeah. Like I was saying in the open, the shipyard is kind of coming out of that for me. I've had my own flaws and my own problems, and I had a run-in with a fellow over the USS Defiant, and I forget his name, and I am terribly sorry for forgetting his name, and I wish that I remembered, but yeah, it was basically I shut him down over making the Defiant tournament playable, which I still don't think that it is at this point, but it's getting there. And I had a bad day, and the things that I said were harsher than they were ever meant to be. But that's still no excuse. And unfortunately, that soured people. And it got me thinking that I need to reevaluate things, because if a lot of people are searching for a way to make something work, maybe there's something there. So that was my notion, and that was where the shipyard was birthed. So if it took a bad experience to get there, it's unfortunate, but from ashes rises beautiful things, or hopefully beautiful things. If that makes any sense, I don't want to glorify a bad situation. I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. I often get accused of being a negative person and a downer. So this is me trying to turn that around from a personal standpoint, and I'm not trying to use this as a personal forum, but I am. And so the shipyards is my amends, or attempt at amends to that situation, and going, let's find a way to make not only the USS Defiant playable, but everything playable. Because I think that there's a way out there. And the more stuff we get, it exists. Now, all of that being said, it may not be faction pure. It may be totally faction mixing. But someday, that's not going to matter. And I've said it before, I'll reiterate it here. On the shipyard, I try to give examples of some faction pure stuff that you can do, and some faction mixing stuff that you do, because people play both ways. People play penalty pure. I don't play penalty pure. I say if you play faction pure, that's penalty pure. Plus, you can do some little things here and there, but you kind of already know those tricks. So you already know how to exploit those things. So have at it. Yeah. For me, it breaks down to two camps. You're either faction pure or you're unlimited. And different people have different forms of unlimited, or different forms of faction pure. Some have alliances and whatnot. But two camps. Nothing wrong with either camp. I started off unlimited. We threw it over to ship pure. We then threw it back to unlimited except Borg. Borg had to be ship pure. Then the nerf came out, and we haven't really addressed it, but we kind of sat on the side and said, yeah, you know what? People just aren't going to play Borg for a while, so whatever. Excuse me. At that point, we kind of went, okay, we want things that keep our player base interested. So, it is not for WizKids to tell people that penalty pure or ship pure or fleet pure or unlimited is the way to play the game. Those are all options that exist. It's your TO's job, it's your store's job, it's your job as a player to let your store, your TO, your group know what you would like to play, and then it's the group's decision to make those things work and to figure out what works best for you guys. Now, once you find something that works as a whole and not with one guy dictating what's going on, then go with it and have fun playing the game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. And if you can do that, great. And don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong. Now, some people can say, you know what? Things can be done better. But by the same token, if you're not going to let people tell you that you're wrong, don't go telling other people that you're wrong. And but understand that on a world's regional, national level, the game is going to be played unlimited. Anything goes. Deal with it. If you don't like it, you don't have to play on that level. And you know what? A lot of people have said that they're not. And the fact that Worlds has 13, 15 people, I forget which, kind of speaks to that. And maybe it's a timing thing. Early June isn't great. I don't know. Columbus, Ohio isn't great. I don't know. But there may be more people are going to qualify tomorrow morning. Who knows? But yeah, there's just weird. People get stubborn over that. There are way too many fights. We are way too small of a community. Don't argue it. I don't. In the groups that I moderate, I don't allow people to go bashing that, and I'm sick and tired of it. It's not okay for you to belittle how somebody else plays the game. Now, if somebody wants to have an honest discussion about it, which we've done on the State of the Federation, I don't see a problem there. If you're willing to openly admit the pros and cons, the things that you like and dislike about a style, then good. Because all formats have pros and cons. And if you can see that, then you're good to go. Okay. We just got word that Will lost the qualifying match due to shortened time. So that's intriguing. And I've now lost my emoji. Okay. Well, so here's where I'm at. I'm still playing this game. Obviously, if I wasn't playing this game, I would have never started this channel. I want to see this game succeed. I want to see this game do great things. If it wasn't for tackling, I would be missing out on a lot of good people. Probably be missing out on a fair bit of stress, which, you know, we can debate whether that's good or bad. But at some point, we are all in this together, because Star Trek fans, which I think most of us are, have a common bond. We like what we see. We want to have fun playing the game. We want to reenact Star Trek to some extent. Now, have we gamed this up and we're making it out to be a game and crazy shenanigans? Oh yeah. And is there fun in that? Sure. You know what? I'm not going to tell anybody to do differently, because you know what? What's fun for somebody may not be fun for me, and what's fun for me may not be fun for somebody else. And I'm okay with some relativism there. So, I guess my point there is, have fun, understand that we're all in this together. People have good intentions, and we're not out to kill each other, except in the game. And we'll go from there. All right. So, while I was going, I missed a couple of questions. Okay, favorite cast. Enterprise cast. I love John Billingsley, Phlox. I love Connor Trinneer, Trip. And Scott Bakula, Archer. And Anthony Montgomery. He was well cast. Jolene Blaylock, nah. But every cast, every cast has that one that was just a little off. But yeah, that cast was fun. I mean, Reed was interesting for the most part. Enterprise had terrible scripts. I'm not going to say anything other than that. But the cast did a great job. The series was well acted. They just didn't have the story to support it. DS9 had the best stories at the end. TNG, but TNG put it all together. DS9 cast was a little weak in my mind, even though they brought in Worf and O'Brien. But yeah, it never quite meshed. I mean, I think I like a lot of the characters as individuals, but I don't like the cast as a whole. Bashir, great individual piece. Kira, yeah, very good. Sisko, good captain. Very good tactician. Not who I want leading the diplomatic corps of the diplomatic corps, but the who I want planning my war. But yeah, TNG. I take TNG any day as a cast. Well, I'll take TNG as a crew. together. I'll take Enterprise as a cast. I'll take DS9 scripts. How about that? Okay. Star Trek Attack Wing Fleet. Go to Star Trek Attack Wing Fleet right now. It's been too long since I played just a go-to game. Honestly, I steal the build that I've been working with for my girlfriend, and that is Dukat on a bioship, Regent's flagship, and then throw in fighters, preferably fed fighters, and Cloaked Mines on, well, one copy of Cloaked Mines, because that's my venue rules. One copy of Cloaked Mines on probably on the bioship. Maybe extraordinary immune response on the bioship just to get bonus defense dice at the end. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I have to see those points. I don't want to pull up Space Dock right now. I'm lazy. Yeah, basically build a 50-point bioship. Probably Bioship Alpha if you're going Dukat. Regent's flagship, obviously less because you want room for the fighters. Break formation, and the one that the battle stations. Great. Now I'm going to open up. I'm opening up Space Dock just so I get, yeah. Okay. Yeah, break formation to get the attack as the action. And then coordinated attack is the battle stations one. I'll take that all day on my Fed fighters, just because at the end that is really hard to kill. And still making little chip shots. That's how you start to chip in at a scimitar with interface generators. Maybe even pulling off the Regent's flagship for a scimitar interface generator build. I don't know. Stay tuned for the scimitar review on the shipyard. I'll talk more about that. I mean, obviously, interface generator is going to come up there, but yeah. So I don't quite have a go-to for sure. I have a go-to like underdog build, and that was the one I put up as like my surprise build, which was ISS Defiant with Miles O'Brien captaining, Rebellion, Hood Riker, Tom Paris improved deflector screens. Then Scout 255 with Picard 8, the Tech Fleet Captain, Diplomacy as a talent, improved deflector screens, Cloaked Mines, and guided charges. And then Fighter Squadron 6, which are Fed fighters with coordinated attack, and call that a day. Only because these are hard to kill. And I don't think that that's necessarily worlds winning. I I wouldn't have run that at Worlds. I might have run it in qualifying just to see where it got me, and then reevaluated for qualifying 2, final day, like the actual championship. But yeah, I would have wanted to see where it got me. But I could probably take that to half of the OPs and do reasonably well. Again, you need board mixing to make that work, but it gives. That's how you penetrate cloak with the guided charges, and fighter squadrons have enough defense dice to get through them. Yeah. I could also see double bioships with Picard Dukat. Though I really hate that this entire meta's become about what can you put Picard and Dukat on to get battle stations. I think that may be fixing. We'll see. If you could be on Worf, what would you change? The speed at which questions are answered. That's it. For the most part, well, and the consistency of wording, but that is honestly a development thing. That's a templating thing. That is the game needs more symbology with once per turn, once per attack, and unlimited, and or once per defense, once per defending turn, like once per round, one time per being attacked, and once per game type things. I mean, once per game is fairly obvious, but still, if you had a discard symbol, I'd errata a few cards, or just outright ban them. Conditional surrender needs to be changed so that it discards itself. Vero needs to be changed so that she only works on a whole value, on a ship of full value 2 or less, I want to say. Maybe 3 or less. I want to say 2 or less, though. Yeah. And not shuttles. Or just outright restrict her to Romulan science vessels. I mean, that would may only be purchased for a Romulan science vessel. That would have solved a lot of the problems. But yeah, my big thing there is speed. If you can answer questions more quickly, your player base is more informed, and that keeps people in the know. And that may not be all in Worf's control. That may be a bigger issue. That may be one guy needing to go talk to a designer, needing to go talk to a team, needing to go talk to just about anything else. I don't know. No. I have another viewer. Welcome. Feel free to talk to me, chat, ask questions. I'm just ranting here. I need more stuff to talk about. Although, hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, so I'm starting to run out of things to talk about for now. What else? Oh yeah, new ships, because Wave 15, Prometheus, the Tong, and the Krita, preferring to be spoiled very soon because of Worlds. People are going to win ships, and they're going to crack open packs, and we're going to have pictures, and we're going to know what exists a month early, and that's really cool. Oh, sorry, Wave 16 on that. Does that happen to anybody else? That we're just at the point now where there's so many waves that you can't remember what wave something came in? Because that happens to me. But yeah, so we already know that the Pesture is Mirror, hoping that there's at least some Federation stuff in there. And the Krita is Ferengi, and the Dauntless is independent. Although, who knows, there might be some independent stuff in there. Because B'Elanna worked on it. Janeway spent some time on it, so anything can happen there. I'm excited though. But I'm excited for all kinds of stuff. I think that for the most part, these recent ships have hit a good design space. Nothing's been like super broken. I mean, Goma Dread was powerful on the Reklar in Wave 13, but he wasn't like, oh my, this is the best thing ever, everyone must run him now. I'd wager that he's not even at Worlds today. He may be at Worlds on Saturday. But yeah, and Wave 14 had nothing, barring escape pods, that broke the game. And Wave 15 hasn't appeared to have anything that's like, gotta have it. There's some cool stuff, of course, but there's just, it's all out there. So, hey, 2 viewers! It's a new record. So yeah, we're still here talking about upcoming ships, talking about other stuff. Feel free to ask questions. Chat away. But yeah, I'm looking on Board Game Geek at all the stuff that's coming out in the next, well, for the rest of the year. Thunderchild, of course, has me excited. That paint job is pretty. Bioship Beta, that will bring Species back to the forefront of people's minds, and if they get some decent cards, boy, look out. that will make them scary. Let's see what else. Delta Flyer, that will be fun. Phoenix, of course, because retail Nebula class. Good things. And the IKS Rotaran, love it. Would not be surprised to see the Rotaran give us another Captain Worf. Wouldn't be entirely surprised if it didn't, but that might even be Federation. Who knows? Hathaway we kind of talked about because of Pulaski. Another Kazon ship, take it, leave it, I don't care. Romulan fighters, yeah. I don't think it matters. I think that it might matter in the sense that we might be at a point where they'll say that fighters have to be deployed to a ship of the same faction. And that would bring things back under control a little bit. Maybe that's the fighter ruling we need. Then again, who knows? And Wave 21, of course, Robinson hijacked Dominion bug, like we needed another bug. Bajoran Lightship. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine there. And the Dreadnought Cardassian torpedo thing, who knows? Who knows what that's going to be? So yeah, that's where we're at with ships for the rest of the year. Lots of good stuff. And then we know in January we are getting Shran in his ship, which is very, very cool. I am all for Shran and his Shrananigans. Copyright Tucker. And of course the Pi. That was one of the first CCG cards I ever pulled from the Star Trek CCG from Decipher way back in 1995. Is the RAS Pi, and I remember that because I was a little bit of a math nerd, but I hadn't encountered pi, and I saw the spelling, and I'm like, why is it just P-I? Pi is P-I-E. And one of my cousins, who was 6 years older, said, no, it's the mathematical pi for circles. And it's a Greek letter. And I was like, oh, okay. I want to know what that is. I want to know more. And now I have a bachelor's in math, and I am a very, very much a nerd. So set me on a path. So the RAS Pi has a significant place in my heart for that reason. So even if it's a terrible pack, I will buy one because, well, yeah, it's what I do. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to call it. It's been an hour. But I will do another one of these, not during Worlds. I will also do it with more notice so that people can plan a tiny bit ahead. And yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So, you guys take care. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see you at the shipyard. Bye.